and we're very happy we have an expert here with us today, Dr. P M Nair. Dr. Nair is a Director General of Police in the IPS, and he has worked on the issue of anti-human trafficking for nearly 35 years now. And he's worked with key organizations like the UNODC and NHRC. And we would really like to benefit also from this opportunity presented to us by having Dr. Nair in the office. And the key questions that we'd like to present to you is how would you see the role of philanthropists and key organizations such as NGOs in the sector to improve impact in the anti-human trafficking sector?
Namaste. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity like this. First of all, I would say anti-human trafficking is a mission. It's a mission where all of us should be part of that. In this anti-human trafficking scenario, if we are either part of the problem or part of the solution. So we need to decide where we are. Human trafficking is the gravest violation of human rights today. It's a slavery in every form, whether it is for sex trafficking or labor trafficking, for organ trade, whatever manifestation. The Constitution of India, Article 23 says, trafficking in every form is prohibited. What is the Constitution? Constitution is a mandate given by we, the people of India, to ourselves. You are given to yourself, I am given to myself. All of us are given to ourselves. So when we have a constitutional mandate which we gave to ourselves, which says that trafficking in every form is prohibited, every person in India has a right not to be trafficked. It's a fundamental right in the Constitution. Therefore, every other person has a fundamental duty to ensure that person is not trafficked. So it's a fundamental duty of all of us. All of us, the media, the philanthropists, the NGOs, the corporates, the government officials, police, non-police, everybody across the board. So I believe it's a constitutional fundamental duty of all of us. We can work in every sphere. If you classify the anti-human trafficking related work, we can generally put across in three brackets. Though there may be cross connections, it's generally three spheres. One is prevention, second is prosecution, third is protection. Prevention, all of us know, it's a preventable offense. If we can get to that, we can do prevent. Prosecution means all aspects of investigation, punishment, then court matters, detection, action against the offenders, all those will come under prosecution. It's a large field again. Third one, protection means it's again a very comprehensive package, right from the stage of rescue and post-rescue, all activities. It could be counseling, it could be caregiving, it could be rehabilitation, it could be repatriation, it could be restoration. I'm not using this technical word to confuse, but it basically means giving a person an opportunity to live freely and comfortably and a life of dignity. That's what it means. So rehabilitating a person. So there are three areas. If we start from the first area for prevention, human trafficking is a continuing offense. It's a crime of crimes. It's a basket of crimes. It's an organized crime. Because so many people are involved in the whole process. Somebody making money out of that, somebody selling a person, somebody buying a person. Nexus officials and all those concerned, it's a huge racket. So there's a source area, there's a transit area, there's a destination area. So when you want to prevent a crime, prevent such an organized crime, we can work in the source area, transit area and destination too. Let's see what we can do in the source area. People who are trafficked are people who are vulnerable. Vulnerability does not simply mean poverty. Poverty plus something, even beyond poverty also. There are vulnerability factors, the broken homes, a person being abused and violated as a child becomes an offender later, becomes a trafficked victim later. Then the lack of awareness of rights. Then the traffickers on the prowl and no action being taken against them. So poor law enforcement. All these contribute to the vulnerability factors. how can corporates, NGOs, philanthropists work on preventing vulnerability? Let me give an example. Girl children in the just adolescent group, coming into adolescent group. Today, major issues about MMS and SMS of all sorts of unwanted messages and photographs and pictures. We can empower these children, girls, how to address that issue. If a improper message comes in, improper photograph comes in, instead of deleting that, how do you trace back as to who has sent? It's not a complicated issue, very simple issue. Once you empower the person will come to know. Adolescent boys, if the children are given proper education, boys are given proper education of human rights, gender rights, I'm sure they will not go astray. We can make a difference. I've seen when I did my research for the National Human Rights Commission, a lot of the customers, I don't call them customers, court customers, because they are actually violators. A lot of the people who are these rapists who generally called as customers, were young people. I followed a trail of a person and landed in a very important college in Delhi, a prestigious college, and I asked the boy as to why he went there. He said, I want to test myself. Then he says, if it is your sister, will you do? No. If it is somebody else's sister, can you do? He was in dilemma. So if that aspect of human rights, gender rights can be inculcated in the mind of an adolescent, I'm sure we can make a marked difference in containing this in the prevention part itself. So we can address the adolescents, make a good program of addressing the school children, college children, etc., etc. Another interesting area, sex tourism is very rampant today, especially in cities, post-modern cities, even villages also, but cities is very important today, very, very serious issue. Hotels, massage parlors, beauty parlors, etc. Fair enough, they should run, but under the garb of a massage parlor or beauty parlor or a hotel, if somebody is violating girl child rights or women's rights or boys' rights, we should contain that. So to address the issue of sex tourism, we can address the hoteliers, tourism operators, all those who are in this business, by empowering them, by building their capacity and telling them and orienting them to the rights-oriented tourism, rights-based tourism, I'm sure we can make a difference. It's a small message, but to reach out to large masses, it can make an impact. Little effort is required. So there are so many ways of prevention. The children who are getting trafficked, boys or girls, go to the source areas. You find out opportunity for educating them. Not just classroom education, mathematics, English, they may not be interested. You give them a sort of livelihood option too. Half day teach your mathematics and Hindi and English, whatever you want. Half day you give them some sort of option, carpet weaving, some skills, which eventually, when they become adults, adolescents, 18 years, they can get on to that job if they want. Give 2-3 options, I'm sure the children will pick up. So such livelihood option oriented skill building, even in the prime age, is very important. We can make a difference there. Coming to the second aspect of prosecution, I mentioned it's a job of investigator to investigate the crimes. But as an NGO, you can be a best source of information for the police. Who is the trafficker? In your area, if you have a woman trafficker or a male trafficker, NGO can be a whistleblower. You can detain him. The law authorizes a civilian to detain an offender, whatever crime. You have the power to do that. Many of us don't know the power we have. We think only police has got. No, you have the power. And your job is only to police him before the police. That's it. So the detention of a person is allowed under the law. That's within the law. So you can, I am not saying that you should go and stumble with him. You call police, but you can be a whistleblower. Then supporting the investigators in so many ways, being a witness. The police, when they rescue girls, they need counseling. Police people may not be trained in counseling, or they are not the right person to do counseling. NGOs can share hands, join hands, and become the best counselors. Counseling a person, a rescued person, is very important because the validation of the crime, validation of the person that person is a victim and not an offender, and giving a strength to that person is very important in investigation. Then the person will speak out. Otherwise, the person will not speak out because he is under traumatized trauma. So NGOs can have a very big helping hand in investigation of crimes. Then court matters. If you see the court practices, you can have a mock trials where the victim can be brought and the black courts can come and usual court scenes can be enacted. Gives strength to the child or the rescued person to speak in the court. I am not saying tutor the person. I am saying that give strength, moral strength, and to the person to speak out. You facilitate speaking out. I am sure it can make a difference. A lot of things can be done in prosecution too. Another interesting part I would say is on the rehabilitation part. It's a protection part. Rescued person needs rehabilitation. Whosoever it is, male, female, boy, child, girl, everybody. If it is a person under 18, naturally there is a child under the law. A child cannot be employed. What we should do is you give them education. What's our education? You need to think of a formal education, conventional education, non-formal education, or something else. Probably a mixture of all this would be better. So you need to counsel the person, understand the capability of the person, the age factor of the person, the core competence of the person, what the basic level of the person. So it's trying to understand the person. Accordingly, you think of, okay, this education is good or this education is appropriate, and then give education. Corporates can come in for educating them, funding their schooling or college, whatever it is, giving them tuitions and giving them food and hostel, etc., etc. A lot of work can be done. People are doing a lot of work on this. Another part of rehabilitation would be adult people. Adult also, you cannot straight away say, okay, go and employ them. It's not the way. Because many of these adults have not got any orientation. You need to understand the core competence of adults. Somebody may be interested in computer work. Somebody may be interested in a reception job. Somebody may be interested in a welding job. Somebody may be interested in carpentry work. Somebody may be interested in becoming a security guard. I am giving small examples. Like that, so many options are there, depending on the quality of the person, the competence of the person, the interest of the person. So by counseling, you generate interest. The person may not know anything at all. You give options and generate interest in the person and build the capacity of the person. Thereupon you give them options. Okay, this training or that training and this skill and that skill. And then comes the best important part. Give them capacity building and training and give them employment. When you give the employment, the appropriate place, the employers have to come in. So we need to find out who are the employers, what is the requirement of the rescued person, try and mix and match. So here is employment scope and here is a requirement. So come together and facilitate that process. We can make a marked difference in the rehabilitation package. Once the person is rehabilitated properly, the person will not be re-trafficked. Otherwise, the person will be re-trafficked and it goes like a circle, a vicious circle. Appropriate rehabilitation means the person should be able to live a life, sustained livelihood option should be there. Supposing the person is manufacturing something, there should be a scope for marketing also. That's also part of the rehabilitation package. It should come in a package. We have so many outstanding examples across the country where corporates have come in, NGOs have come in, law enforcement officials have come in. All three have joined hands together and made a marked difference in the country in the rehabilitation also. In the National Human Rights Commission research which I did, we opened up the dimensions of trafficking, the issues of trafficking, the response systems, how good or bad they are, and brought out everything clearly before the audience. In the UNODC project which you mentioned again, my job was to implement that writing. And in the implementation process, we have seen a tremendous impact across the country in all three aspects of anti-human trafficking: prevention, protection, and prosecution. A lot of resource materials are available on the website, UNODC website, or on the website anti-human-trafficking-mission.com. anti-human-trafficking-mission.com. You can see the resource materials available. It's a mission for all of us. For you and me, I'm sure. All of us are working on this. All of us. It's a mission. Our mission is to ensure that our children, our sisters and brothers are not sold. They are not violated. They are never for sale. They are human beings with the dignity. Respect their dignity. Let them grow. Let the nation grow. Thank you.